It's our fault. Why isn't it? So I explained to them that we often power the majority.
The Senate will please come to order. It is my pleasure, slightly differently than other times, to introduce the person who will be giving our devotional exercises today. It is the Reverend Diane Nanscoville of the St. Stephen's Episcopal Church of Middlebury. The reason I add my slight commentary, some of you may know this, some of you may not, is that the Reverend is the mother of a former colleague of many in this room, Senator Chris Pearson. So, with pleasure.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. It's good to be amongst you again, even though my favorite senator isn't with you. I've brought this little book from a fabulously light but deep author and illustrator, Leunig, like the restaurant in Burlington. He's from Australia. He is a commentator on social stuff, and this first piece I read to you a number of years ago, but it's so good it holds up, I think. There are only two feelings: love and fear. There are only two languages: love and fear. There are only two activities: love and fear. There are only two motives: love and fear. Two procedures: love and fear. Two frameworks, two results: love and fear. Love and fear. We celebrate spring's returning and the rejuvenation of the natural world. Let us be moved by this vast and gentle insistence that goodness shall return, that warmth and life shall succeed, and help us to understand our place within this miracle. Let us see that as a bird now builds its nest bravely, with bits and pieces, so we must build human faith. It is our simple duty. It is the highest art. It is our natural and vital role within the miracle of spring, the creation of this faith. Thank you all.
Thank you. Are there any announcements? Seeing none. There's one bill to move to the Rules Committee under Rule 44A. That is S-141. It is appearing on the calendar today because we failed to move it to the Rules Committee yesterday. However, it did not meet crossover and will be referred to the committee, is referred to the Committee on Rules. We also have a Rule 31 referral. That is H-472, appearing on the calendar for notice, affecting the revenues of the state, will be referred to the Committee on Finance. That brings us to the orders of the day. The first order of business for today is Senate Resolution 10. Third reading was ordered. Are there any amendments before third reading? Seeing none, please listen to the third reading of the resolution.
SR 10, Senate resolution relating to reaffirming the friendship between Vermont and the Republic of China, Taiwan, and supporting enhanced United States-Taiwan and Vermont-Taiwan bilateral relations.
Now you've heard the third reading of the resolution. The question is, shall the Senate adopt the resolution? Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed indicate by saying nay. The ayes have it, and you have adopted Senate Resolution 10. We now have up for consideration S3. The Senate passed S3 and sent it to the other chamber that has made a proposal of amendment and returned it to our chamber. That proposal and bill were referred to the Committee on Judiciary, which is considered the same. And for the report of the committee, the senator from Chittenden Central, Senator Ruth.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senators will remember when we did S3, I began by talking about the surprising amount of support the bill had received, due in part to incidents we had had with paramilitary training in the state. That surprising support continues in the other body. You will see that they made very small changes to our bill and in general looked very favorably upon it. So if senators will go to page 1454, I can walk you through the very minimal changes. You will see at the bottom of subsection 1, just before the end of the page, that the wording now reads, if the person knows or reasonably should know that the teaching, training, or demonstrating they have added is intended to be used, which is a continuation of the language already in the bill, which asks that someone know or reasonably should know. So this continues that examination of someone's intent to create civil disorder. Flipping the page, in subsection 2, the House, in addition to being taught, trained, or instructed in the use, etc., the House added the word practice. So you, in addition to training people in these techniques, if they already know them, but they are practicing them at the camp, then that would be included as well. And at the bottom of that subsection, you'll see they have again added is intended to be used. And then below that is the only really substantive change. In the Senate bill, the fine was $5,000. They have raised it to $50,000. And that's in keeping with fines that Judiciary has been applying in other bills this year. But the thinking behind this is, in a case like this, it's not uncommon for someone to be able to raise money off the fact that they are involved in a legal dispute over a camp like this. And so a fine per day or a flat fine, can be easily met sometimes by this small dollar online fundraising. So $50,000 seems a more appropriate mark than $5,000. And that, Mr. President, is the sum and substance of the changes. Your Senate Judiciary Committee voted 5-0-0 to concur with the House, and we would ask that the Senate join us. Thank you.
The question is, shall the Senate concur with the House proposal of amendment? Are you ready for that question? If so, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed indicate by saying nay. The ayes have it, and you have concurred with the House proposal of amendment to S3. That completes the orders of the day. Senator from Chittenden Central.
Thank you, Mr. President. Pending announcements, I would move that the Senate stand in adjournment until Friday, April 21st at 11:30 a.m.
Now, the Senator from Chittenden Central has moved that pending announcements, the Senate stand adjournment until Friday, April 21st at 11:30 a.m. Are there any announcements, Senator from Grand Isle?
Mr. President, just a reminder, the Railroad Association has a reception down here on the rail cars at 4:30 to 7 this evening with hors d'oeuvres and snacks, so everyone is welcome to attend. Thank you, Mr. President.
Are there any further announcements? Senator from Bennington.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Education will meet at 1:45.
Senator from Washington.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Finance will meet at 1:30.
Senator from Caledonia.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Appropriations will meet immediately after the fall of the gavel.
Senator from Madison.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Government Operations will meet at 1:30.
Senator from Essex.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate institutions will meet 15 minutes after the fall of the gavel. Thank you.
Are there any further announcements? Seeing none, the senator from Chittenden Central has moved that the Senate stand adjournment until Friday, April 21st at 11:30 a.m. Are you ready for that question? If so, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed indicate by saying nay. The ayes have it, and the Senate will stand adjournment until Friday, April 21st at 11:30 a.m.